In today's video, we're going to dive into a crucial topic, the financial decline of the middle class. Despite their hard work and ambition, many middle-class individuals find themselves struggling to maintain financial stability. We'll explore 18 key factors that contribute to this issue, ranging from wage stagnation and rising healthcare costs to income inequality and the high cost of education. By understanding these challenges, we can better navigate the financial landscape and work towards a more secure future. Let's get started. 1. Wages. On a regular basis, most employers tend to increase the wages of their employees at a calculated rate depending on their performance. This allows people to have more income at their disposal, which they can use to improve their lives and grow. However, if the employer does not consider the rate of inflation as they calculate their wages, it becomes very difficult for the employees to live off their salaries due to inflation. With high inflation rates, the cost of most items increases and becomes inaccessible. This diminishes any aspects of financial growth for the middle class, who mainly depend on their wages. 2. Healthcare. In recent years, the rate of rise in diseases afflicting people is high, more so as a result of lifestyle choices. Accessing medical facilities can be a challenge, especially for those who have no medical insurance. Most employers offer medical insurance, but in cases where an individual is not employed, they have to dig into their pockets to buy a cover. This aspect of life can eat into your savings and leave you high and dry, in a poorer state than before. 3. Income inequality. The wage gap between senior managers and middle-level managers, who mainly constitute the middle class, is very high. There is a shift where more income is distributed at the top and less at the middle and lower class levels. In most cases, senior positions in organizations earn enough income, which, if distributed, can pay a number of people in the same organization. There is also the issue of wage stagnation across middle-class earners, limiting their financial growth. Globalization has played a role in this stagnation, making lower-wage earners in some countries, such as China, compete with middle-class earners in the world. Another factor is innovation and technology, which today can be obtained in a more affordable way, making most high-income earners redundant. 4. Education. Education is considered a major stepping stone to financial bliss. However, with the ever-rising cost of education, many have been unable to acquire college tuition to study or enhance their current education status. In an environment where college degrees and diplomas are highly rated when seeking employment, the hopes of many have been dashed to pieces. Those who manage to complete their education through education loans will have to pay back once employed, reducing the take-home package. Starting a career with a student loan hanging on your shoulders is not pleasant at all. These loans often put a strain on one's finances and can make it difficult to live well, considering the other loans one has to deal with, such as mortgage or credit card debt. 5. Home acquisition. Most middle-income people are very ambitious and sometimes get trapped in the mentality of get-rich-quick schemes. This has seen most people acquire properties through mortgages or other forms of loans, and somewhere in the middle, due to changes in interest rates or job losses, have seen some of them lose their property to auctioneers. If the interest rates are not regulated by the authorities, some banks will tend to raise them anytime there is an economic crisis. Losing a property can be devastating and equally retrogressive, with detrimental personal scars if not managed well. Another issue that may arise with property is if you buy at an inflated price or when there is a bubble. When the bubble bursts, you are likely to be left paying for a property way higher than the actual price, sinking you further into poverty. 6. Energy costs. Another additional strain on middle-class people is the increase in the cost of energy products. These include mainly gas, petrol, and diesel, as well as electricity. The effect of this is both direct and indirect, and in some cases, you have no control whatsoever. A good example is transport costs, where you have no say in the cost of a ticket from one point to another. Maybe one can try and implement control measures to reduce wastage and unnecessary consumption in their homes. Such extra costs will hit the middle class harder and make them poorer, as they will dig deeper into their pockets to cater for the extra costs. It is unfortunate that energy costs affect everyone, whether it is upper, middle, or lower class. 7. Retrenchment and job loss. Due to poor economic times, most companies are struggling to stay afloat. A number of companies, banks, and financial institutions have been laying off workers in huge numbers. One does not need to guess hard who is most affected, and yes, that's the middle-class worker. The highest percentage of the mass layoffs are in the middle-class category. With no form of employment, supporting their families will be strenuous, and poverty comes knocking on their door quickly. If you are lucky to get a retrenchment package, this will push you for some time, but if you do not take any action to find ways of producing wealth, you will spiral down into poverty. Companies will also lay off people where they try to reduce running costs through outsourcing some or all their activities. 8. Lack of financial wisdom. Most people throw caution to the winds when it comes to spending money. There are cases where people have been unable to pay the expenses because they spent their income in the wrong places, such as drinking and being wasteful. Without a well-developed plan for your finances, you will end up in poverty very fast. This may not necessarily happen to only middle-class people, but can also affect upper and lower classes. However, the middle class having the highest number of people, this is likely to be seen more in this group. Mismanagement of money and resources is a good recipe to make you poorer. 9. Making investments. It is always advisable to make investments with what you currently have to increase your income. If you have a tendency of using all your money that you earn without investing for the future, you are likely to increase your poverty levels. Make sure that your money is growing wherever it is by investing or saving in an interest-earning account, or whichever best options you have at your disposal. Most people in the middle class might tend to have the illusion that they are rich and ignore the basics of investing and spending wisely. Without employing proper investment opportunities, you may not make money, leading to you becoming poorer. 10. Cost of rent. Those who rent houses to live in will admit that paying rent on a monthly basis is no easy task. The cost of housing has gone up tremendously, and most people find it hard to afford a reasonably good place to call home. On the other side, the income one is receiving from their employer or other means does not increase at the same rate. One is left to pay a high rent while the income remains constant. Unless one employs other means to generate income, your net worth will continue to diminish. 11. Not budgeting. A good budget will help you plan for your finances and ensure that your resources are channeled in the right direction. You will be able to monitor your expenses and seal loopholes where you could be losing money. On the other hand, if you do not budget your resources, it is like signing your financial death. Lack of planning is most probably one of the reasons the middle class is getting poorer. Most people view budgeting as a difficult task that is not necessary, but you are likely to find out its benefits the hard way when you have been pushed to the brink of poverty. Budgeting will also help in planning ahead and keep your goals visible at all times. 12. Being too comfortable. Being too comfortable in your status will hold you back and keep you stagnated in one position. You will tend to develop a comfort zone and ignore the fact that you need to keep on improving yourself and looking for more avenues or streams of income to enhance what you already have and save you from impending poverty. 13. Living beyond your means. Many people live way beyond their means until they end up in the gallows of poverty. They take loans or borrow heavily to keep up with the status or class they have created for themselves. In the long run, they will find themselves on the brink of poverty with loans they cannot afford to pay back. Living within your means will protect you from losing all that you have and relieve you of the stress that comes with it. 14. Poor mentality. A poor mentality is like a vice that will eat at your mind, tying you to poverty for the rest of your life. Never allow your thoughts to distract you from your wealth generation journey. You need to have confidence in yourself and in the projects you undertake without losing focus and direction. Poor mentality will draw you backwards, and you will not be able to achieve your goals as you had set out to do. Even when things are awfully bad, you need to stay afloat, believe in yourself, and set your eyes on the prize. Many middle-class people end up poor because that is all they can see. They belittle themselves and convince themselves they cannot achieve their financial goals. Such a mentality is retrogressive and will lead to poverty if not dealt with. 15. Financial emergencies. Unexpected financial emergencies can quickly deplete savings and throw middle-class individuals into financial turmoil. Whether it's an urgent home repair, a sudden medical expense, or a car breakdown, not having an emergency fund can lead to borrowing at high interest rates, which exacerbates financial strain.